So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our conductor for today, Mr. Jim Stephenson. Once upon a time, in a land not too far away, there was a little girl named Maddy. Maddy was a young composer. A composer is a person who writes music that we would hear anywhere in the world. Maddy was inspired by the instruments of the symphony orchestra, who we have here today. Listen as they play a series of notes called a scale. Maddy is thrilled hearing that scale again and wonders if the orchestra can play it backwards.
Backwards?
Yeah, backwards.
Okay.
Try it.
3, 4.
Oh, great. Very well done. Now, let's go on a journey with Maddy to meet the musicians of the symphony orchestra. Maddy's journey begins in a lush field full of tall grasses and beautiful wildflowers. As she walks along the path, the wind is gently blowing across the field, causing the grasses to make a soft and soothing sound. In the distance, she can hear the sound of 4 friends playing their instruments together. And as she gets closer, she notices that they are all playing beautiful music on their woodwind instruments. Maddy is curious why they are all there, playing music by themselves. The woodwinds respond that they are inspired by the way the tall grasses are dancing in the wind. Maddy loves the music, and she tells the woodwinds she'll be back with more friends very soon. Maddy runs into the thick forest where trees tower above her head. The path is shaded and cool, smelling of strong pine. She hears music that makes her feel as if she has traveled back in time to a place where knights rode on horseback and kings ruled the land. Maddy finds out that the brass also like to play a type of music called jazz. She invites them to head to the nearby meadow to join her woodwind friends. They agree, and she bids them farewell as she sets off to see who she will meet next. As Maddy walks along the path, her feet kick through the fallen leaves. As the wind is blowing and the rain begins to fall, more leaves fall to the ground. And then one last leaf gently floats to the ground. While in the forest, Maddy finds a lovely, cool stream. As she walks along, she hears music that sounds just like water flowing past. She meets 5 friends who are all playing their string instruments. The stream is full of feisty fish who are flipping their fins and making small splashes at the top of the water. The string instruments use their fingers to sound like the fish, using a method called pizzicato. The violin, the smallest string instrument, plays as the fish jumps clear out of the water. All of the string instruments use a bow to make a sound on their instruments. And the bow is made of wood, and get this, is strung with horsehair. Further downstream, the water moves swiftly over the rocks, and Maddy thinks it sounds like a melody she might use. Maddy sees a young bear playing in the stream. The young bear reminds her of a viola, which is slightly larger than the violin and plays its own melody. Now here comes the mother bear, the cello. Maddy notices that the cellist rests her instrument on the ground instead of under the chin like the other violins. Well, maybe she can do it too? No, doesn't fit. The instrument is just too big, which means it can play lower notes, as you'll hear now. now the biggest bear of all is accompanied by the string bass, who plays the lowest notes of all. Listen as the bear plops down in the stream for a cool bath. Maddy enjoys the scene by the stream as the water flows, the fish dance, and the bears swim. The string players are happily bowing and plucking their strings while using their left hands to change the notes. They all head back to the meadow, where they hear a sound like a bird singing. Maddy excitedly introduces her first woodwind friend, the flute. The flute plays the highest sounds of all the woodwind instruments. She makes sound by blowing her air across the top of a hole in the mouthpiece, much the same as when you blow air across the top of a bottle.
Did you say bottle?
Yeah, I said bottle. You did not.
You brought bottles? We always do. You want to play? Sure. Okay, here's flute and bottles. And me too. There you go.
The oboe is made of wood and is played differently than the flute. She uses a double reed, which consists of two shaped pieces of wood strapped tightly together. When she blows wind over the double reed, it vibrates and sounds like this. When the oboe player puts the reed back into the oboe, it creates a much more beautiful sound and can play music to charm a snake. A kaleidoscope of butterflies go by, captured by the clarinet. The clarinet only uses a single reed, also made from bamboo. When air passes over the reed, it vibrates and produces a whimsical sound. The bassoon, a double reed instrument like the oboe, is the lowest member of the woodwind family. Hey, I thought you were the lowest member of the woodwind family. That's better. The bassoon can play very lyrical melodies, or it can imitate a grasshopper in the meadow and play a bouncy tune. Let's listen as the rest of the woodwinds join in with the bassoon. Notice their fingers on the keys and how they blow into or across their instruments to get sounds. Maddy is so excited to introduce her brass friends from the forest. First, the trumpet, who plays the highest notes of the brass family, uses valves to play many different notes. Brass instruments are well known for being loud. As they play, Maddy imagines knights riding off into battle. Sometimes the trumpet player gets to play a smaller trumpet. This is called the piccolo trumpet. Because it is smaller, it can play higher notes. Listen for the higher, brighter sound of the piccolo trumpet. Brian says it's so much fun to play, it's almost like a toy. The next friend Maddy wants you to meet is the French horn, which is a very unique brass instrument in many ways. First, all of its tubing is coiled up, much like a garden hose. Secondly, she uses her hand to change the sound of the instrument. But listen to what happens when the hand is jammed too far into the bell. The French horn is neither the highest nor lowest instrument in the brass family. It often gets pretty melodies to play, or sometimes gets to make that muted sound you just heard. The French horn is famous for signaling the beginning of a hunt. Listen closely and you will hear a distant hunting call. Well, hello. The trombone is a very special brass instrument. It does not use valves, but uses a slide instead to change from one note to another. It can also make a wide variety of funny noises using its slide. First, we have the most common, which you just heard, called the glissando. Or it can sound like a little lamb. Or perhaps an elephant. Can you make it sound, Chelsea, like the trombone is laughing? Or my personal favorite, the vacuum cleaner. The trombone can do much more than make funny sounds. As she plays this next tune, Maddy imagines a scene in a castle from a long time ago where a prince and princess join in a courtly dance. Maddy would like you to meet the tuba, the biggest and boldest brass instrument. It is the king of brass instruments. Because it is the biggest, it is the lowest. But our tuba player, Derek, seems to think he can play as high as the trumpet. What do you think? Let's see what happens. Wait a minute now. Now our horn player seems to think she can play as low as the tuba. Let's have a little challenge. Okay, here goes. Oh, so close. And the winner is Derek. Well, okay. The tuba is very well known for its famous solo, which sounds like this. I like the oompas. Okay, well, since you asked, you can play the melody. We'll let you play the tune.
Just this once.
Now, Maddy explains to her friends that even though the brass and woodwinds all use their air to make a sound, these brass players also have to buzz their lips. They need to use their little mouthpieces. Listen to what it sounds like. They sound like bumblebees. We have a special treat for you now. We mentioned earlier that the French horn looks like a rolled-up garden hose. Well, the brass players found some things at a nearby cottage, and they are going to play a final piece for you on their garden hoses. suddenly, out of nowhere, the harp rushes in like a gust of wind. The harp had heard that some friends were gathering and asked if she might join them to play some music. Maddy thinks this is a wonderful idea and explains to the others how the harpist uses 8 fingers to pluck the strings and also uses her feet to adjust the pedals. Maddy spots a lonely wanderer coming up the path, carrying a whole load of instruments. It is a percussionist, Michael, and Maddy invites him to join the group. She asks him how he plays all of those instruments. Whoa, a little slower perhaps. On a percussion instrument, you need to either scrape, shake, or strike the instrument to get a sound. Thank you. All the friends agree that the percussionist will add a great deal to their music and invite him to try out all of the instruments that he brought. Our percussionist is so excited to play all of them, but he is always looking for more instruments to play. Maddy announces to her friends that she is ready to show them the music that she has written. She explains that all music is made up of 3 things: melody, harmony, and rhythm. But Maddy has not yet finished her piece, and she needs the help of 4 friends from the audience. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jim, and he'll take you through the next part to compose a piece.
Okay, hi everybody. You having a good afternoon? Awesome. As Patrick said, Maddy needs 4 volunteers to help finish this piece. Looks like I might have some volunteers right in this area. This looks fantastic. You want to come up? You want to come up? Come on up. Did you raise your hand? Come on up. Yeah, all right. And how about you? Come on up. Yep. All right. Awesome. Come on up. Stand up right here in the middle. Let's go right over here. Right here. You know what you can do when you're this close? You can look at the orchestra and check. Have you ever been this close to an orchestra before? No? Right? So you guys are going to help us, to help Maddy finish her piece. Are you all composers? You are? Good? You're composers. Awesome. Good. Well, tell me your name. Wyatt. All right, so Wyatt, I have a favor to ask you. All right. We mentioned that every piece needs melody. You know what a melody is? It's the tune of the song. Like if you turn on the radio and you listen to your favorite song, that part you love is the melody, okay? So what we're gonna do, Wyatt, is we're gonna give you 3 melodies to choose from, okay? You can turn around and look at the orchestra while they're playing. See, they're all friendly, look at them. They're waving, they're smiling. And we're gonna play you 3 melodies, and you can pick your favorite, all right? All right, let's try melody number 1. What do you think? It's okay? Not bad. You want to hear a couple more? I know, I do. All right, let's try melody number 2. All right, so should we try one more and then you can pick your favorite? Melody number 3. All right, so what do you think? You like number 2. Outstanding. Very good choice. All right, so Wyatt, I'm going to have you come on over here. Don't go anywhere. We got more for you to do. Gilbert, right? All right, Gilbert. So we have Wyatt's melody. We need to add some other notes to go with it. We need to give it some harmony. Okay, you're going to see how much it changes the sound of the music entirely. Would you be willing to choose your favorite out of 3 choices? We're going to give you 3 to listen to, and we'll see which one you like the best, all right? Let's see how it changes the music, okay? Do you hear how different that is? We added all this sound. That was, we'll say happy music, music in a major key. Now we're going to try it in a minor key. Okay, see how this changes it, okay? Makes it a little sadder, doesn't it? Sunshiny day, but sad music in here. All right, now we're going to try a 3rd one. We call this kind of dissonant music, kind of jazzy, some notes that sound a little bit, we'll just let you hear what you think. Okay, here's our 3rd harmony. All right, Gilbert, what do you think? Let's see. Number 1, you're in a good mood today, aren't you? Feeling happy, sunshiny day, right? All right, good. Come on over here next to Wyatt. Hi there. What's your name? Elizabeth? You know anybody up here? Yeah? No? You don't know anybody up here? We'll have to talk about that later. All right, so Elizabeth, now I've been looking over at the percussion player. He's been bored. He's had nothing to do yet. We've had melody and harmony, and we need to add a beat to this music. We're going to add some rhythm, okay? You know what rhythm is? You ever wanted to dance? Yeah, look, just like that. Yeah, that's rhythm. All right. So we're going to try it first like a waltz. You ever seen like a king and queen or prince and princess dancing Cinderella in her castle? All right, let's try it like a waltz, okay? You ready? Here we go. that's our chosen melody and harmony with a waltz. Do you want to hear it like a march? You ever seen a marching band coming down the street, a parade? Let's try it like that. Here we go. All right, so we got a waltz, march. Let's try it like a tango. This is a different kind of dance. See if you like this one. All right, you were dancing up here, Elizabeth. All right, you have a favorite of those three? A waltz, a march, or a tango? 1, 2, or 3? You like any of them? You like 2? You like the march? All right, so we have a march. Let's see. I have an idea. You know, we talked earlier about how our percussion instrument, how do we play those again? What are the 3 words? Scrape, shake, strike. There'll be a test on this later. Right, so, you know, Maddy was walking through the forest, our character, through the meadow, and she found some percussion instruments on her journeys. Could you hold that for me for a second? Yeah. And so she was going to do some gardening or something, and she had that. You can take that as well. Can you imagine a way you might make a percussion sound out of those 2 things? That's one way. Is there another way? Yeah. Scrape it across there really hard. Try that again. Try it flat. There we go. See, you're a percussionist. See how easy that is? All right, so you have a scraping instrument. Let's see what else. Well, I don't know. Let's see. What else we have in Maddy's bag here. Can you hold that for me? Can you hold that one for me? There's some acorns in there. Can you make a sound out of those? Yeah, there we go. That's our shaking instruments. All right, what else do we have? Oh, these are heavy. Are you strong? Yes. Okay. What do we got there? What are you going to do with those? Oh my gosh, yes. That is fantastic. All right, hold on. So we have our striking, our scraping, and our shaking. What are you going to do? If only I had something you could do. If only I had something. Can you make a sound with that? I mean, just do like that. See if... Oh, you're a conductor. Come on up here. Come on up here. What's your name? Hutch? All right, let me see you go down, up, down, up, down. Okay, all right. You're born for this. All right. Let's face our audience. All right. Come on. Now let's get you guys. All right. Scrape, 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 hit, and shake. All right. Keep it going. All right. You ready? Here we go. Ready? And 1, 2. Outstanding. We just performed a world premiere. All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Did you have fun?
What a wonderful journey we've all been on together. It was so fun to meet the different musical instruments and to see and hear them making music and blending their sounds together. Oh, Maddy is already inviting me on her next musical journey, so I must go see what she's up to. This was really fun, and I can't wait to see you all again. Please listen as all of our musical friends continue to play music together.